Article 4, Section 2 of the United States Constitution states that the President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Have you ever wondered what an impeachment really is, or what offenses are impeachable? Some trials that you may remember are the impeachment trial of President Clinton, or Rod Blagojevich, the former governor of Illinois, for trying to sell President Obama's Senate seat. The Legal Information Institute defines an impeachment as a criminal proceeding instituted to remove a public officer from office, but it isn't the actual act of the removal. Like, they don't actually remove them, they're just impeached. Like President Clinton was impeached, but he wasn't removed from office. Impeachment is defined as a criminal offense, but it's actually political. Congress can't impose any criminal conviction on them, it's just political. There are 3 reasons, as I stated before: treason, bribery, other high crimes and misdemeanors that somebody can be impeached for. Treason is the first one, and it's an act of deliberate betrayal or a crime that undermines the offender's government. Charles L. Black, he wrote Impeachment, a Handbook. He states that treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. The next offense is bribery. It could be giving or taking bribes. And it's the practice of offering something to gain an illicit advantage. It's usually monetary in nature, and basically it amounts to skirting the Constitution. The third offense is other high crimes and misdemeanors. This is the most broad category. It's actually, the actual definition of it has been in question since 1789. And in recent years, Congress just says that it's any other crime that prosecutors want it to be. They can just choose a crime, basically. It also includes abuse of power and misconduct. Next, I'll talk about the general procedures of the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. Under the Constitution, the House of Representatives has the sole power of impeachment. They bring the charges against the individual, which are also called articles of impeachment. The House votes by a simple majority, and if passed, then the trial moves on to the Senate. And the Senate determines whether the charges are true, and if the charges are true, then which ones of those are impeachable. And then a 2/3 vote is needed to convict an individual. Some specifics about the House of Representatives are, it's not required, but they use their own committee for the trial, and it's usually the Judiciary Committee. Evidence is heard, and it can be based off of staff, grand jury matter, or any other sources. And any documents that need to be entered into the trial are, they need to be subpoenaed, just like any other sort of trial. The Judiciary Committee or the House can usually amend any offenses, but they usually don't do that. And the House debates on the matters, but they don't actually hear the evidence. The Senate does that. If the House convicts the individual, then it's moved on to the Senate. The trial is moved on to the Senate, and some of the House representatives are voted on to serve as managers in the trial. The Senate then puts judges together. If the President is the accused, then the Chief Justice of the United States presides over the trial. The Senate then hears all of the evidence, and then the case is presented by the House of Representative members that were voted on earlier. So like any other trial, evidence is called in, witnesses are heard, And then the Senate votes, like I said earlier, a 2/3 vote is needed for conviction. And then if they do get the 2/3, then the official is removed from office. So, as you've heard, it can be a long process. Anyone holding a political office can be tried for impeachment. Some are easy to understand, like treason, bribery, but others are broad, like other high crimes and misdemeanors. No matter what the conviction, though, all of the processes are still the same for the impeachment trial.